Have you ever heard of a shot so impossible that even the U.S. Navy SEALs refuse to take it? A shot through dust, distance, and death. One that could change the fate of an entire battlefield? Well, this is the story of the woman who didn't just take that shot. She made it. And before we dive into her unbelievable mission, make sure you subscribe to Grow for Justice because we bring you true-style military stories that celebrate courage, honor, and the moments when ordinary people become legends. Now tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? I'd love to know. The year was 2023. The sun was setting over a desert valley somewhere deep in hostile territory. Operation Iron Dagger was underway. A covert SEAL mission meant to capture or eliminate 4 enemy generals meeting secretly to coordinate a devastating attack against Allied forces. The meeting was heavily guarded, buried deep in an enemy-controlled compound surrounded by mountains. Every angle was a trap. Every path was suicide. The SEAL team moved through silence, guided by satellite feed and drone visuals. Commander Davis, the man in charge, studied the scope of his rifle and cursed under his breath. No clean shot. Winds shifting east, sand density high, thermal interference, forget it. No one can make that shot. His words weren't arrogance. They were realism. The generals were nearly 2 miles away. Hitting a target at that distance required perfection. Zero wind drift, absolute line of sight, and nerves of steel. But then, from behind him, a calm female voice spoke. "Sir, permission to try." The men turned. Standing behind them, her face painted in camouflage, eyes like sharpened steel, was Lieutenant Avery Collins, their sniper. Barely 29, former Olympic shooter, now one of the few women ever to qualify for SEAL reconnaissance support. Most of the unit respected her. Some doubted her. But no one ever forgot her aim. Commander Davis raised an eyebrow. "Avery, that's a 3,200-meter shot through thermal distortion. It's impossible." She didn't blink. "Sir, impossible is just a range number until someone hits it." Davis stared at her, then nodded. "You've got 5 minutes. Make it count." Avery knelt, her body moving with precision, unzipping her custom M2010 enhanced sniper rifle. She checked the suppressor, calibrated the optic, and adjusted for wind drag. She could feel the pulse in her fingers, calm, steady, trained. Every breath she took slowed time itself. Through the scope, she saw them. 4 enemy generals in dark uniforms, huddled under a tent near a truck convoy. Guards circled. Spotlights swept the area. Between her and them lay almost 2 miles of barren desert, a kill zone of heat, sand, and wind. Her spotter, Petty Officer Lewis, crouched beside her, whispering numbers. "Wind, 12 knots east. Adjust elevation in -2 clicks. Mirage high." Avery's finger brushed the trigger guard. "Got it." Then, suddenly, radio chatter exploded. "Multiple hostiles approaching from the North Ridge. We're compromised," shouted a voice. Commander Davis turned, signaling his team to pull back, but Avery didn't flinch. "I need 10 more seconds," she said. "Negative. We're exposed." "Then make it 9," she whispered. She steadied her breath. The world went silent in her ears. No gunfire, no chaos. Only the heartbeat in her chest and the crosshairs over her target. Her father's words echoed in her mind. "The bullet doesn't fly straight. It dances with the wind. Learn its rhythm." She squeezed a crack. The shot tore through the night. The bullet soared, slicing the wind. Then, impact. One general dropped instantly. Gasps in the tent. Guards scattered. Avery didn't wait. She shifted scope left. Crack. Second target down. "Holy hell," muttered Lewis. Commander Davis turned just in time to see the impossible unfold. A blur of precision, calm under chaos. Crack. Third target down. By the time the 4th general ran for the truck, Avery already had his movement predicted. Crack. The bullet struck through the window, through glass, through steel, and silence fell. 4 shots. For kills. All headshots. Distance, 3,216 meters. The battlefield froze. Even the wind seemed to stop out of respect. Commander Davis whispered, "No one can make that shot," but she did. As enemy reinforcements began flooding the area, The SEALs exfiltrated under darkness, guided by drones and the chaos Avery had unleashed. By the time the enemy realized what happened, the generals were gone, and the chain of command was shattered. That single act, those 4 shots, saved hundreds of lives on the ground. But the story didn't end there. When the team returned to base, Avery was silent. She cleaned her rifle, logged her report, and faded back into the ranks. No press, no myths, just another classified mission for history to forget. But word spread through the special operations community like wildfire. The impossible shot had been made, not by luck, but by discipline, not by ego, but by skill. A week later, Commander Davis found her sitting alone outside the hangar, staring into the desert. "You realize what you did out there, right?" he asked. Avery shrugged. "Just my job, sir." He smiled faintly. "No, you changed doctrine. Every sniper, after you will train knowing that 3,200 meters isn't impossible anymore." She looked up, eyes glimmering in the twilight. "Then maybe they'll stop calling it impossible and start calling it human." Months passed. Her mission remained classified, but her legend grew quietly among those who knew. SEALs began using her data logs for training simulations. The shot's telemetry became part of sniper school curriculum. Her codename, Whisper-7.I, in the shadows of history, she became the standard for precision under pressure. And yet, when asked about it years later in an interview, she said something that silenced the entire audience. "I didn't take those shots because I wanted to prove anyone wrong. I took them because men I trusted were depending on me. That's all that mattered." The crowd erupted in applause, not just for her marksmanship, but for her humility, for being the kind of soldier who believed service came before glory. The next time someone tells you something is impossible, remember her. Remember the woman who stayed calm when others panicked. The woman who looked through wind and chaos and still found clarity. The one who heard the words, "No one can make that shot," and answered, "Watch me." That's courage. That's discipline. That's justice. And here on Grow for Justice, we tell stories exactly like that. Stories of real strength, real sacrifice, and real heroes. If this story inspired you, don't just scroll away. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss our next powerful story. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? We read every comment. It means the world to us to see how far our stories travel. Because sometimes a single story like Avery's reminds the world that even when the odds say no one can, someone out there quietly proves that they can.